Hey everyone, Fallen from OTB here, coming in with a new video of the holiday edition. As the snow is falling, we have many new updates and changes that have happened over the course of the last 6 months or so in the game. Strategy has changed a lot in this game, as we've noticed recently. Things have been very inconsistent. So we got this video here to help explain some of the things that have been working for people. And as we go forward here, we'll just jump right into this. This shouldn't be too long of a video. Just trying to kind of keep some basic attacks in, showing what's working here. So, jumping right away, imagine that number 11 here. So, yes, air is still working, but if there's any golden rule I've learned, we have to try new types of air attacks. So you really got to be creative. One of which something I don't have much experience with here. Trying to do, trying to get the invis to work for some of these attacks. Things go really wrong here, but we are able to get such a huge chunk of things killed right here, including the clan castle that was not drawn out at all. So that's a free kill right there. I've just noticed with all these different types of air attacks, you really have to think outside the box, and you can't follow the same format that once worked. So much that you literally almost have to avoid the old formats of types of attacks. So, had this been done any different way, this base would not have been killed the way it used to be killed so quickly. You have to work different angles. Not everything is opposite side of the base like it used to be, and you can't always use clone spells. So, anyways, here we have a good funnel coming in. The whole point of this is to come in from the side and kind of work that L shape of the base, going the long side of the base here. Backed up by the warden here behind all those air troops. I have noticed on attacks like this, keeping a queen alive is so important during these style of attacks. I do love running with the Rage still to get things going. Not, all the way on the outside of the base, but definitely in the first little quarter of the base that you hit. The heal spell was just kind of an addition. I haven't used that much lately, but if you could see where it works, maybe if you're next to a lot of splash damage early, it can help if you plan on keeping everything clumped up. This attack was particularly awesome because it just everything rolled through the base so easily and quickly. There was so many troops still alive, and there really was no issue. Things might have moved a little slowly, but that's how dragons work sometimes. And I mean, as you can see, there's literally everything is spread out so perfectly here. There's no threat at all on this type of base. So what I noticed, and the thing that kind of bugs me, is when using this attack, I literally, like, sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. And when it doesn't, you can go 2 wars in a row without it working, and that's a huge issue. So I just kind of am imploring everyone to see different sides of the base, and trying to attack things a little bit differently, I think, is really important. Jumping all the way down to 22 here. Okay, Zeus. So awesome work here by Zeus. Here's another example of dragons that do work with clones. So clones do still work. In a perfect scenario like this, they're very useful. But you can't force them, again, like the way that people used to force the clone style. It just didn't work out too well. Now it's not transferring over very well at all. So here we have some funneling, and as we get forward, we got the main force coming again on the side. So take note that we are seeing a lot of dragons used on the side instead of like the opposite end of the base, because of the air puffers there. So here's everything's coming across the side. That's going to be an easy kill. And take a look at the value here that we get. We freeze that up, which is always a smart idea. And what Zeus likes to do is he likes to use his clones for the troops throughout the base. So if you can get them on a lot of loons, they're going to help lead the way for you. They tank damage, also draw all the air bombs, and all your dragons are kind of following up and killing things behind. Had a decent spread right here, and a lot of the success you see too is from the royal champ that if you can have a champ alive as long as possible, a lot of bases these days are built to counter champs by throwing a hero in any corner of the base. So a champ is not going to win one-on-one against any of the heroes, unfortunately. So you have to have a plan of keeping the champ alive with the fewest amount of spells used on her, as possible. So here is, again, there wasn't too much left at the end, but it was a really good split and a really smart way to use your clones. So just remember you can use clones on things other than just on the town hall. In fact, you're going to see a lot of traps around the TH anyway, so typically not always the smartest idea. And 23, I know I'm going to go through this very quickly here. 23 is Drum, another guy who has major love in the air. So again, he did what it took here. Took a few of the sneaky goblins to help get some of those outside structures taken care of. And as he's going to be able to push the heroes up here, that's the goal. If you can get your hero in with the least amount of troop space possible, you might need a little something to funnel. But typically, Queen is a really good funneling tool and also helps lead into the main part of the attack. So King got in there with ease, so that's always good news. And especially when you see those open corridors, the walls coming in from the outside, you can really take advantage of that. So as far as those heroes are concerned, they've done all the work you need to do. So that's totally fine. And he has his signature haste that he likes to lead with here, getting into the very first corner of the base. And that is where we see a lot of luck. All of those troops are clustered up, so this is a good example of a base that it's okay to start on the opposite side. Because he's going to get love on the other side with the bats. So that's really good for him. And here he doesn't like to do anything too fancy with the town hall kill as long as those troops do get there. Which here he runs with the sneaky gobs and a little bit of air to back it up as well. That's perfect as those are pushed around the outside of the base. Meanwhile, if you can get your grand champ or your royal champ involved, and he barely even needs the bats at all. The bats are still coming out when the base is basically dead. So again, if you're coming in from the opposite side of the base, it's almost more of a rule of thumb these days to have bats that are going to take care of that corner. Or that part of the base that usually RC would used to be able to take care of. But now because of the way that the heroes are spread out, RC is not as useful for that. However, RC is extremely important to keep alive. So that's when bats really do come in handy. That was everything on that. Let's see. I'm just double checking to see if Thor did, yeah, he did another clone. That's okay. We're going to go back and just get to the most recent war here. And this is a big one. We finally really had a nice war here. Let's jump into 5. Is that? Yeah. Okay. So again, Drum with his bats are fantastic. Can't preach enough how well it works, and I think people should be practicing this attack for how much it works. He's got 3 accounts, and he's just slaying bases with all 3 of his accounts. Again, the way that things have been lately, I've noticed it to be a little inconsistent. I've noticed everything being inconsistent lately. It actually really bugs me how inconsistent it has been. It's really demoralizing. I don't know what Supercell is doing to some of their stuff, but I don't know. A lot of these changes are just not. It's not really giving anyone a go-to strat to use anymore, and that kind of bugs me. I don't know if it's the bases or just how it's been designed. It's kind of weird. Anyways, all those troops stay together. They're very healthy under that Warden ability. A very nice rage right there. That's going to get a lot of those big things cleaned up. And then here we have the Town Hall kill there, easy. That will fizzle out, but it has triggered any of the air traps down there. Meanwhile, the bats are starting right now, and you're at a part where the base is already crushed. We've got, 8 dragons up, basically. A whole bunch of them tanking in the middle. the queen has worked her way around. Again, you see a lot of success with the queen that stays alive throughout a good portion of the attack. And those bats are just destroying everything. As single target infernos are going to be able to be taken out super easy. Nowadays, you do see a lot of single target infernos, at least one, sometimes two on each base. So another thing that to be mindful with those bats is they're all going to get exploded here, aren't they? No, they ran right around it as it chases them through, and they live to see another day. Wonderful. And then 5, okay, 6, oh, is that one of mine? Yes, it is. So, this is the first smash attack I've tried in 6 months. It's disgusting to admit this, but I absolutely love this catapult, and I think it's going to be really useful in more things than not, with the smash style attacks. So, as always, this is very typical because I like to watch a lot of YouTube. Keep in mind, I'm a little bit rusty when it comes to any type of this attack. So bear with me if for any reason a pro watches this. You can see how literally anyone can do it, and especially if I can do it, anyone can do it. So you always want to lead with a balloon on either side to help the healers on that end, and also help the catapult. You never want to be in range of a mortar unless you have a plan to kill it very quickly. So as far as that was concerned, all that I want to get with the catapult is I want to get to that scatter. And by that it allows, there's hogs in there that are going to be able to follow up with some kills. And then as far as the warden, I want to clean out that building as much as possible, especially so I don't lose any healers in there. I was kind of trying to hurry things up right here because those time is a huge thing. When there's only 2 minutes or less left, you are really knocking on the door of time. So perfect timing here. As the scatter goes down, all the other troops are ready. I like to use, so far the super bowlers are fun. I'm going to try the super witches soon. First, your first rage is going to go up into that first quarter of the base right there. Everything jumps mid, and then you want to be able to have a plan to get to that town hall. You'll notice that king gets cooked by the single target inferno in there, but those ice golems are really helping. We got the RC on the outside, really cool. Even though there are point defenses out there, RC is going to be able to take care of everything on that side and make sure and get down those needed things. Everything pushes into the core, so it is nice to have the witches. I can see life living without them, but the witches are nice, and then the super bowlers here do a really good job. There's a few of them fade away into the town hall. Everything is split, and you save. Having some freezes that you're able to save on the back end, at least one freeze for the town hall is the rule of thumb, and one freeze for the back end, whether it's a scatter or sometimes single infernos are still standing, things like that. You're going to want to save a freeze for. Other than that, not many troops are alive here, but RC lived, heroes lived through it, and you really can't ask for more when that happens. So that worked really nice. Against my better judgment, I'll play my other smash attack, even though I screwed up. I can show how effective it actually is. So really nice comp right there. Still practicing with it. It's only been a couple days I've been using it, but I'm super happy that it has been working well. I'm just gonna play this in the interest of, again, this is a bad base. This is even a bad example, but I just want to prove that mistakes can even, this attack is so strong. I didn't even use my hero abilities on, or at least a couple of them on this. So you want to start out on a pointy part of the base here with that catapult. Also helps get rid of the walls, which actually is the downside. I wasn't able to clear enough of those upper buildings. So once again, we send the loons behind each side. Warden, I'm realizing that the catapult is so slow that the warden's moving much quicker than I anticipated, so my timing was off here, and it forced all those troops to pull toward the northern end of the base. So the wall breaker part worked well, except the second one died before it could make it. So that was a bummer. So I had to waste an extra jump just to get them through there. And then I didn't put enough clearing troops on the top here. So everything pushes north. It was my mistake. Things you notice kind of go around and split, but you want to lead with those golems. In any order you get your troops behind. But of course, you want to get them, efficiently together so they all do move together. Now, in a perfect world, they'd stay together here, but we can see the inevitable split. We wanted to make sure, and because there's so much damage, we wanted to make sure and rage up everything right there. The secret that I learned is if you know there's a multi-inferno, bring in an invisibility so it can cover your healers over so it doesn't fry them up. Now everything just splits, but under rage with those bowlers, and thank goodness to the help of the healers, things are just getting in there and just smacking this base up. Fortunately, they're able to just chop through the wall. And by the time we get into this bottom quarter, look at that, all the abilities are still yet to be used. So again, we're looking at a bad base here, but everything just blows up so quickly that we've gotten to the end of with 2 defenses left, nothing now, and the abilities still haven't even been used yet. So, and the catapult is finally breaking right now with the hogs coming out. So, it's super strong in certain situations, you'll find, but then at other times you'll notice that this attack, it has not been working for me in Legends. I don't know. Legend bases have been terrible. So anyways, we just one more attack, I think, and then we're done. 16. Was that it? Really? Okay. Psycho. You get your first lovely hit. So here's another example of so I want to show how timing can be huge in this. Fortunately, we didn't have to worry about it. So when you start with a queen, in my opinion, it's very tough to start timing the troops, especially if you're going to be using a log roller like that. Timing is really tough because your heroes move so quickly, or your queen moves so quickly on defenses, that it's hard to set up your troops and get your funnel set up before. So here you're in a scenario where queen could have walked. Fortunately, she went back into the base. But I would say probably 70% of the time that queen is going to walk around the outside. So using the ability was perfect timing, I think. We have a really good set of... now, he has some hogs that he's hanging on to as well for the back end. Sending those loons to help absorb any type of traps. That's smart. Everything just cooks right up the middle of the base. I think that's a really cool... It ended up being a really good funnel, and there the queen actually did end up walking after that core was completed. So queen is, I mean, aside from doing a little sniping, kind of useless when by herself. But everything has moved up so quickly and effectively, especially with those freezes that are going on. I would have saved maybe one more freeze if possible, but this is actually pretty good timing here on this. I think he's done quite a great job using those hogs as well to clean up, especially with the RC to assist with the RC there. And you can just see them getting in there to do the work. Hogs are huge in this, and that's why I like having them for assistance for the RC, as long as they're not hitting anything too strong on the outside. For some lighter defenses or softer defenses, it's kind of nice. As long as you're not hitting a big block of defenses that are gonna slice them up here real quick. But that was awesome. That was really cool to see. Plenty of troops left. Everything is working pretty well. Those barbs are all just scurrying down at the bottom there. They don't know where the hell they're going. And then especially those goblins really got no idea where they're going. Oh, hey, we got an idea. Let's go bang on this wall. I just caught that. That's funny. So, again, these smash attacks, if everyone said, what should I do? I'd say, hey, you already know air. Our whole clan knows air. Half of which are having really rough times, myself included. I say learn a smash strat, and because it's something that's going to be around, whether you're using Yetis, Super Wiz, or the P.E.K.K.A style, the P.E.K.K.A smash, or you decide to go with the Super Bowlers or the Super Witches. Anything where you're getting an element of some close range, tankiness, ice golems, regular golem, P.E.K.K.As, or, you go with the ice golems to tank for like the ranged bowlers and things like that. Again, Super Wiz is something I really want to try out because I think with the catapult right now, I was experiencing issues before getting a funnel set on the other side, because I personally hate the king followed up with the witches behind. I do not like that strategy at all, or at least it doesn't work for me, and I just don't believe in it so much. I think it's a waste of space. I think here, if you get, instead of like what we used to use, like a siege barracks or, something like that to go around the outside, I prefer the catapult with hogs so far, or yetis. I've seen, if there's a lot of outside defenses, go with yetis. I think that there's going to be a future always using a smash strat, where I think a lot of people are countering air these days. So, anyways, we're doing pretty good. We're on a nice little streak right now, so hopefully we can keep that up. And I might as well stop the video now because it's already gotten long. I always manage to do that. So without further ado, this is Fallen from OTB signing off.